Hello everyone, this is Pradyuman Thakur, your host, welcoming you all my so loudspeaker. So friends, today we are going to discuss the debate upon capitalism. The recent Oxfam report 2016 has once again brought forth the debate on 1% of the world's population. Now own more than one rest of us combined, the debate on global inequality in contemporary times also raises a questions mark on the ability of capitalism, the economic system, predominantly being followed all over the world, barring a few exceptions, to deliver inclusive growth. Capitalism is an economic system based on free market and limited government intervention. Proponents argue that capitalism is the most efficient economic system enabling the improved living standards. So me, Pradyuman Thakur, going to be held a debate upon it, that what should be the new model or alternate model of capitalist economic system. We have some insects with us who will glorify the pros and cons of the capitalist economic model. We have Vikas, we have Suraj, he's also high profile Pakao, and we have Srishti जिसका साबुन slow है and Vansika जिसका कुछ नहीं हो सका. So guests, you all are welcome. So let's first start with Vansika. Vansika, how do you see a capitalist economic model? Can you please all slide over it?
See, capitalism is bad. Capitalism ignores people's needs, results in inequality, and doesn't promote equal opportunity. Capitalism also encourages mass consumption. It's unsustainable and provides an incentive for business owners to harm the environment for money. Capitalism is also ineffective and unsafe.
Okay, so Mr. Suraj, Vansika said it's not a good model. What do you think about this?
No, I don't think so. I will say capitalism explores individual potential to fullest, gives freedom of choice and promote equality, leads to innovation. And capitalism, against popular opinion, focus on equality as it provide equal opportunities for everyone to improve, develop, as opposed to communism, where equality would simply means equal burden of work.
Okay, so you see capitalism as more innovative and it provides opportunity. So Srishti, now I'm coming to you upon it. Like, what does it mean to be a capitalist?
Individual capitalists are typically wealthy people who have a large amount of capital, money, or financial assets invested in business, and who benefit from a system of capitalism by making increased profits and thereby adding to the wealth. A capitalist nation is dominated by the free makers. A market, which is economic system in which both prices and production are dictated by corporation and private companies in competition with one another, and places a heavy focus on private property, economic growth, freedom of choice, and limited government intervention. Those to the all right of the political spectrum tend to be pro-capitalist. Those on the left lean toward anti-capitalism.
How does it impact the people?
The kind of impact that capitalism has on your life depends on whether you are a worker or a boss. For someone who owns a company and employs other workers, capitalism make sense. The more profits your company brings in the more resources you have to share your workers, which theoretically improves everyone's standard of living. It's all based on the principle of supply and demand, and in capitalism consumption is king. Okay, the problem is that many capitalist bosses aren't great at sharing the wealth, which is why one of the major critiques of capitalism is that it is a huge driver of inequality, both social and economic.
So Vikas, now please tell me your views upon it.
I define it as fundamental tension to human civilization because capitalism and democracy cannot go hand in hand with each other. In a capitalist country, capitalism in a capitalist country, the focus is on profit over anything else. In a socialist country, the public seems to be more important, and social welfare is major priority. Where socialism is better system in which a whole community, not bosses or private companies, control the means of production equally. It assumes that people are naturally cooperative instead of competitive. So the goal of socialism is egalitarian society run by democracy.
Okay, Vikas, you mean capitalism is undemocratic? We often hear this from the critic of capitalism, right?
Yes, definitely. In capitalism, how much you own should be determined the weight you have in the governance of the enterprise. Is it fair that someone who owns a million shares should have a million votes, whereas who owns only one share has only one vote? On other hand, in democracy, every human being, whether he she has $1 billion of wealth or not at all, has an equal vote. In capitalism. Money counts. In democracy, life counts.
Democracy and capitalism coexist in many variations around the world, each continuously reshaped by the conditions and the peoples forming them. Increasingly, people have deep concerns about both. In a recent global survey, Pew found that among respondents in the 27 country, 51% are dissatisfied with how many democracy in working in a capitalist state. So, Mr. Suraj, how do you define this argument? What do you think about this argument?
No. Capitalism is a fundamentally democratic because it is all about economic freedom, like we get today. Ownership, no authoritarian, free market. Capitalism gives us freedom to choose between alternatives. Capitalism empower people through the freedom to choose what to buy or produce.
Privatization is not freedom. So when the European came to India and began to privatize the country by slaughtering Indian natives, they were not killing us, right, Suraj? You mean they were giving us freedom? This is the meaning of freedom and capitalism.
Okay, Vikas, I'll come to you. Please wait. So, Srishti, please tell us about what do you think about this? Srishti.
Just like we replaced monarchy and its private ownership of government with democracy, so the mean of lawmaking are publicly owned and controlled for the equal benefit for everyone. We should replace capitalism and its private ownership of the economy with democracy. And democracy, so the means of survival are publicly owned and controlled for the equal benefit of everyone.
Okay, Vikas, now you say whatever you have.
Freedom doesn't mean privatization of. Yes. Freedom doesn't mean privatization of our planet Earth. Freedom is only for employers, not for employees.
What about economic growth? As capitalist critics of socialism argue that the system slows economic growth, rewards workers' laziness, and can stifle individuals' right to and free expression.
No, it's not like that. As I already said about the hypocrisy of capitalism, the economic growth are not equitable. We can see disparity in wealth around us. There was a time when economic profession work in public interest, but in now this new liberal era today, the work they work only for big corporates and billionaires. Inherited wealth doesn't cause equality of opportunities. Those who are in privilege are much more likely to do well because of better education and upbringing. The richest in society have more money than they could ever need, while other people in the same society are homeless, hungry, and in poverty. We should have some laws and some policies to equally.
Okay, so Vansika, now please give your opinion on this. Vansika.
Um, I think in free market, successful firms can gain monopoly power. This enables them to change fighter prices to consumer. Supporters of capitalism argue only capitalism enables economic freedom, but this freedom of monopoly can be abused and consumers lose. Not just consumers, firms have monopoly power in employing workers and paying lower wages. This is why we have seen periods of stagnant real wage growth while firms has increased their profits. Capitalist economy leads to more privatization and crony capitalist system.
Socialists often say privatization is a big problem in society. but the backbone of capitalist economy. Suraj, what do you think about this? Suraj.
Okay. I would say privatization increase competition in the business world, like we see in today in the scenario world, like Apple beats Microsoft, beats Google. So it enhances tax reduction and job creation. When a public service is privatized, it can immune to political influence.
Privately operated public service have a great corruption risk than the service provided by the government. Suraj, we know about private banks. Privatization is usually promoted on the basis that it will reduce, it can also drive costs up. According to non-profit consumer advocacy group Food and Water Watch, a proposed private water service for Milwaukee would cost residents 59% more than they were paying for public water services.
Okay, so Vansika, there is a big debate that the capitalist model does not respect nature. They waste the human resources and humanity's wealth. They degrade natural resources to make profit.
In a capitalist economy, there is limited government intervention and rely on free markets. However, market forces ignore internal costs and external benefits. Therefore, we may get overproduction and harmful effects to third parties. This can lead to serious economic costs, pollution, global warming, acid rain, loss of rare species, external costs that damage future generations.
Srishti, are you there? Can you please respond?
Yes, I agree to it. That not just capitalist, every economies have encouraged mass consumption and provided an incentive for businesses owners to harm the environment for monetary. Again, business owners manipulate people to consume more of their products, which impact the environment.
Okay, Vikas, how you see this, all these things?
Yeah. I'll see it as capitalists propagate fake agenda of sustainable development. Because greed can never be green. Is it possible to run an expanding capitalist economy while keeping its impacts within safe ecological boundaries? Or is it greed driven system effectively a suicide machine that is doomed to destroy itself? Getting the fact that the now dominant capitalist economies or this capitalist economic system is unstable is not in doubt. It has contributed to the breaching of several ecological boundaries in relation to climate change, biodiversity, and so many types of nutrient enrichment. At the same time as damaging the natural system that sustain it, capitalism is also leading to increase inequality, in turn creating social tension that make it still more exposed.
Okay, everyone, we are running of time. So last call, and please provide your last, everyone one by one. So Srishti, what's your last comment on this?
So, capitalism makes a society undemocratic. Democracy is a society where people have equal political power and equal freedom. Since your political power and freedom depends on the amount of income you have.
Vansika.
From this debate and Zoom session we had, I think I'm having a little change of perspective. In today's world, we are living in such a state where we can't really rely upon either the socialist economy or the capitalist economy. We would want a mixture of both so we can work hand in hand with the democracy as well as individual choice. Yeah.
Okay, Vikas, what's your last comment?
So I'll say the conquering of earth for someone's private profit is not freedom. Okay. Do you even know what is definition of freedom in capitalism? Like, we often wonder why or how someone could claim ownership of forest and cut down all the trees and make profit on this, or how do people claim the oil underground belongs to them when it's been there for millions of years? Like,
Okay, Suraj, what's your last comment on all these topics?
The emergence of capitalism, the capitalist mode of production has passed through different stages of development. These have been phase of economic crisis that necessitates the introduction of different economic policy providing the sustainability of a capital accumulation. Now said. Thank you.
The economy and the polity are the main problem-solving mechanism of human society. They each have their distinctive means and they each other have their goods and ends or ends. They necessarily interact with each other and transform each other in the process. Okay, the debate is about to end and thank you everyone for being here. Okay, thank you.